JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, police probing multi-million-dollar racket at Falmouth Transport Authority Pound. The Transport Authority has called in the police to commence a probe of a multi-million-dollar racket involving the theft of vehicle parts, including engines, at the pound in Falmouth, Trelawney. The police have been advised. We have asked the police to do a thorough investigation, and the police are currently treating the investigation with respect to the affected vehicles. Managing Director of the Transport Authority, Ralston Smith, said the pound is located in proximity to the Falmouth police station. According to Smith, the irregularities were discovered during an audit at the pound after the security firm was recently replaced at the facility. We made the discovery just after a change of the security arrangement. All our pounds are covered 24 hours island-wide by security firms, and we discovered, subsequent from changing from one security firm to another, that a number of vehicles at our pound facility, engines, among other parts, went missing, Smith said. Subsequent to that, we had our auditors conduct an audit of the vehicles at the pound, he added. The Transport Authority, as a reputable organization, ensures that it employs security companies for all of the location, and a part of the security contract is that the security company is responsible for the safekeeping of those vehicles whilst in their custody. A senior member of staff at the Falmouth police station confirmed that the police received a report of the racket and a probe is expected to be launched. Meanwhile, Smith said that parts are missing from 70% of the over 30 vehicles impounded at the facility. The Transport Authority will now review the security at all of the pounds they operate across the island. Man on murder charge shot dead in Westmoreland. A man who was on bail on a murder charge was shot dead by a gunman at a restaurant at Belle Isle Road in Grangeville, Westmoreland, Thursday morning. The deceased, identified as 25-year-old O.J. Davidson, otherwise called Six Boss, from Church Lincoln District in Grangeville, should not have been in the parish as a condition of his bail, police said. It was reported that around 8:15 a.m., Davidson visited a nearby restaurant where he ordered breakfast and went outside. Police said while waiting to be served, he was pounced upon by a man armed with a gun who opened fire, hitting him multiple times in the upper body. Davidson ran inside the restaurant where he collapsed. The gunman escaped on foot in the area. Davidson, the police said, was taken to the Savamar Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The body was later transported to the morgue pending a post-mortem examination. Davidson was on bail for murder, and a condition of his bail was for him not to be in Westmoreland and to reside at Church Bend District in Old Harbour, St. Catherine, the police said. Police were unable to say if Davidson's killing was related to his court case. Body of 23-year-old woman found days after suspected drowning in St. Elizabeth. Police are probing a suspected case of drowning involving a woman whose body was found on Thursday in a river 4 days after she was reported missing in Salo, St. Elizabeth. Police named the woman as Kashiba Brown, 23, otherwise called Cash, a resident of Salo District in northern St. Elizabeth. Councillor Audie Myers, People's National Party, Salo Division, said that Brown's body was retrieved by citizens from a tributary of the Black River about 1 p.m. on Thursday. Police confirmed that citizens found the body and alerted them. Myers, who said he knew Brown, reported that the community is devastated following her death. The body was found by the citizens in the river behind the Shiloh Basic School. She is originally from Union, but she is also in Windsor too. It is very unfortunate for a person we know from when she was a little child until she reached this age, and she has lost her life in this manner. It is a sad story for the community and the family, he said. Reports suggest that Brown drowned after she went swimming in the river near the Windsor Bridge on Sunday. A search was organized by residents and ended on Thursday when the body was found. On Wednesday, residents blocked the roadway in the community as they demanded assistance from the police to conduct the search. Myers commended the residents for locating the body to give Brown's family closure. It is a devastating situation. We can bring closure to this because the body has been found, and I want to salute the citizens of the area, Thornton, Williamsfield, Windsor, Salo, who came out in their numbers to assist in finding the body. I want to thank the security forces also for their assistance, but it was the residents who were resolute in looking for her until it got dark and up early searching, he explained. SSL fraud probe being paid for with money confiscated from criminals, says Finance Ministry. The Finance Ministry says The extraordinary expenses being incurred in the Stocks and Securities Limited SSL fraud investigation are being paid for using assets confiscated from criminals and funds from the Financial Services Commission (FSC). In a media release on Thursday, the ministry sought to make it clear that neither of these sources involved tax revenue. The ministry clarified that the Financial Investigations Division (FID) has $300 million set aside in a special account arising from the confiscation of ill-gotten gains under Jamaica's Proceeds of Crime legislation. It explained that this amount has been earmarked to fund the expansion of the building occupied by the FID, as well as to fund the extraordinary expenses incurred by the FID in the SSL fraud investigation. These funds do not constitute tax revenue. These funds arise from the FID's work in identifying, restraining, forfeiting, and monetizing the proceeds of crime. That is, these funds arise from the confiscation of ill-gotten gains, it said. Meanwhile, the Finance Ministry said the FSC, as a regulator of the non-bank financial sector, appointed a temporary manager of stocks and securities in January 2023. It said this was necessary to, among other things, safeguard the Jamaican financial system. In the interest of clarity, expenses incurred by FSC in regard to SSL are being financed by the FSC from its own resources, inclusive of $1.8 billion in reserves on its balance sheet. The FSC is not the beneficiary of tax revenues and does not receive resources from the Consolidated Fund, the ministry stated. It also noted that the temporary manager has retained a staff complement of 22 at SSL, down from 33 when the manager was appointed. Clarendon woman charged with mother's murder. A 25-year-old woman from Clarendon has been charged with murder following the stabbing death of her mother. Charge is Danica Davis, otherwise called Kim, of Brian's Peace. The deceased has been identified as 60-year-old Myrtella Abbott-Sappleton, otherwise called Myrty, of the same address. The incident reportedly happened at their home on Sunday, September 3. Reports from the Frankfield police are that an argument developed between the women, during which it is alleged that Davis attempted to strangle her mother with a piece of electrical wire. Abbott-Sappleton reportedly tried to free herself, and a knife was brought into play and was used to inflict stab wounds to her upper body. Davis then reportedly visited the police station where she reported her actions and was arrested. Abbott-Sappleton was transported to hospital where she was pronounced dead. Davis was charged on Tuesday after she allegedly confessed during a question and answer session. Her court date is being finalized. Policeman accused of helping prisoner to escape remanded. A police corporal accused of assisting a prisoner to escape from police lockup was on Wednesday remanded as he awaits a bail application in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Friday. Corporal Ricardo Rose was recently arrested on charge with misconduct in a public office and aiding and abetting escaping custody. It is reported that on different dates earlier this year, Rose transported the prisoner from the Central Police Lockup to the Halfway Tree Police Lockup for interviews into an alleged case of fraud. The prisoner reportedly escaped on one of those occasions but was later recaptured. The matter was investigated and a file was prepared and sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions, who later ruled that Rose should be charged. Wednesday, when Rose appeared in court, the clerk of the court indicated that she was unable to respond to a bail application as the file was submitted late. The bail hearing was then postponed to Friday and Rose was remanded. St. Catherine men charged with kidnapping and arson after a gun went missing. 2 men were slapped with kidnapping and arson charges after a gun in Central Village, St. Catherine, allegedly went missing. Charged are 21-year-old Umar Bloomfield, otherwise called Coco, a farmer, and a 20-year-old Anthony Thomas, otherwise called Biggs, a laborer, both from Central Village. They were charged with 3 counts of assault at common law and kidnapping, 4 counts of assault occasioning actual bodily harm, 5 counts of arson, as well as possession of a prohibited weapon. Reports from the police are that a boy was approached by a man who accused him of stealing a gun. The man was later joined by about 20 armed men, which allegedly included Bloomfield and Thomas, who took the boy to another section of the community against his will. He was allegedly beaten with boards and guns. The group of armed men then visited the boy's house where they pointed guns at the occupants and threatened them. The men then set the house on fire. Bloomfield and Thomas were apprehended during an operation in the Little Lane area of Central Village. Charges were laid against them on Wednesday, September 6, after an interview session in the presence of their attorneys. The incident reportedly occurred on Sunday, July 23, 2023 and Monday, July 24, 2023 about 7:30 a.m. Their court date is being finalized. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.